Hi and welcome along to But I Won't Do That, a weekly-ish podcast where I, Grant Mullen,
and myself, John Menezies,
somehow managed to cram a half-hour worth of garbage into a free podcast.
And sometimes there's a little bit of talk about music.
That's what we started the podcast for. So today we're going to be talking about song lyrics, but who knows what else we're going to be talking about.
We'll be going all over the place, don't you worry about that.
Why don't you find out with us? Enjoy.
Если я чешу в затылке, не беда. В голове моей опилки, да. Но хотят там и опилки, но кричалки и вопилки, а также шумелки, пыхтелки.
Well, as promised, we are back. We have whiskey, and we are doing a song that we promised we'd do last week in our podcast last week when we talked about Starship.
We did, and yeah, this song,
No.
it's a tough one. I've not been looking forward to this song. I picked it because I thought, oh my goodness, along with the theme, this is a terrible song.
So this is
And I
the
thought,
warning.
oh yeah, I'll just print it out on my dead thick paper, and I've brought it over.
Cardboard, not paper. It's cardboard.
It's like a shoebox, isn't it?
I thought there was
Wall out
4
of a shoebox.
pages, but there's only 2 pages. Hey, so you asked me a question before we started the podcast. So if you've listened to our podcast for a while, what I used to do is I used to just hit record at any particular time while John was asking me questions while we were getting prepared for the podcast. And
And you know what? It was a bit of fun.
it was a bit of fun.
It was a bit of fun.
But now we're very professional these days.
Well, you are. I'm still not.
You've taken your beanie off.
I have taken the beanie off.
Yeah.
My head was getting hot. I think it was stifling my brain.
Is that what's happened?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what was going on.
So before the podcast, you asked me a question about this song. In
Yeah,
particular.
what about our approach?
So let's-
Do we have an approach?
So what did you actually? Let's do that conversation for our listeners, for our beauties.
For the
By the way, if
beauties.
you're listening to this podcast, you're a beauty now, because
Yeah.
that's the acronym for But I Won't Do That.
G'day, beauties.
G'day, beauty. You little beauties.
Yes, little beauties. It's fantastic.
Oh, you're a beauty.
All right. So
So,
about the
so what was the
song.
question you asked? Said,
I said, how are we going to approach this song?
should we have a plan or
Should we have a plan? Should we have an agenda?
Hmm.
Because this is going to be a very difficult song to find the
Purchase.
giggles
Any
in.
any
To get
purchase.
purchased. It's a bit.
So we've given
Too
ourselves a
long, the
challenge.
nose is
We've given
terrible.
ourselves a challenge. So if you want to join in on the challenge, get ready. If you're driving a motor vehicle at the moment, maybe pause it.
Yeah, maybe
it
listen
later.
to it some other time. I don't know.
So let's talk about who it's by.
Oh, it's by a lovely band. A really, really lovely.
would
Almost everyone's favourite.
Would our beauties have heard of this band?
I think the beauties may have heard of this band. They're pretty well known
Okay.
in the traps.
Okay, so who are they?
They're a little band, a little 4-piece that I like to call.
Where are they
and
from?
I've heard a
Where are
few
they
other
from?
they're from they're from the other side of the world. They're from the United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom of America. No, the United Kingdom of Kingdoms.
Yeah, the United Kingdoms of Kingdom. The one with so much so it's got a king now.
Ooh,
the
it's,
Queen
it's an
died.
actual kingdom.
They've got a king.
Not
It
a-
is a
not-
kingdom.
not a queendom.
And a few years ago,
So they're a
Those are-
4-piece.
they're a 4-piece.
From what bands have ever come out of the United Kingdom that are of any note? Ed Sheeran, I suppose.
yeah, he wasn't a 4-piece though.
No.
There was a little band that were from a town called Liverpool.
Oh, is that a hint?
That is a hint.
Okay. Did they have a drummer named Ringo?
Oh my goodness, I think you know what the band is.
Thomas the Tank and Friends.
That's the one. do, 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 do. And the song we're going to do is Thomas the Tank Engine.
No, it's not. What's it called?
It's called Run For Your Life
Run For Your
by
Life.
the Beatles.
And if you haven't heard this song, these are actually the lyrics. These are fair dinkum, the lyrics. And I don't think you could write a song like this these days in this current...
I honestly think you'd be cancelled.
Yeah.
You would be cancelled for this song.
Agreed.
Yet this is in the Beatles playlist.
So imagine you're a Karen and hearing this song for the first time. Who complains a lot? Is it the lefties or the righties? Lefts or the rights?
Oh, it depends what kind of lefty and righty. They all complain a lot.
Yeah. So if you're either left or right, you'll complain about this song.
Yeah.
If you're a Christian, Muslim, or a Buddhist, you'll complain about this
If
song.
you're white, if you're black,
Yeah.
if you are human, or even if you are an animal or a vegetable, you'll probably...
What about Michael Jackson? Where does he fit into any of that?
Oh, golly.
Can you be a bit more sensitive, please?
Yeah, I do need to be more sensitive to Michael Jackson. I mean, I don't want to... If he's listening in, I don't want to hurt his feelings.
I can't go that high.
Now, shall I do the lyrics of this in a creepy voice?
I don't know. It's bad
I'll do
enough.
it like this.
Yeah, go on.
I'll do it like this.
That's your Jack the Ripper voice.
My Jack the Ripper voice.
Yeah.
Oh no, are we really gonna go down this rabbit hole? All right.
Welcome to the podcast, Jack the Ripper.
Okay. I will begin the lyrics. Well, I'd rather see you dead, little girl.
Oh, excuse me, mate. Come on.
That's the
come on.
first line of the song.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were doing a bit.
No. That's the opening lyrics of a Beatles song. Well, I'd rather see you dead, little girl.
I don't think So I listen to murder podcasts.
Yeah.
But I'm listening to one at the moment, and it's the worst crime podcast I've ever listened to. And I've listened to some.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them can be horrific, but
This one's called
educational.
Shadow of Doubt. It's a really, really good one. And this could be the theme song for that podcast, for Shadow of Doubt.
I think it would be too heavy for a song, a theme tune for a podcast.
Because I write the theme tune and sing the theme tune. Okay, so that's the first line. Yeah. How did they get that past the money people?
I think the Beatles may have been at the stage in their career they could throw
Say
anything out there.
Yeah.
Anything, and people would just buy it.
So is this why we saw when you look at old footage of the Beatles in concert, and they're singing, well, I'd rather see you dead, little, and they're all screaming. Are they screaming in fear?
I think the reason they got away with these lyrics is because of the screaming. That's all I can imagine.
Yeah. To be fair, the Beatles could just get up there and say anything, couldn't they? And
they could have made up any old rubbish about living in a strangely coloured water flotation device, probably.
Or like a yellow submarine.
Yeah. Or living under the water. A hippopotamus, and all sorts of
you
stuff.
say they like to be under the sea?
Yeah.
Like an octopus's garden or something.
Yeah, like under in the something or other. I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. It's like they could write anything.
Any old shit, yeah.
And the thing is, you put that in a B-side on a vinyl, and nobody's. It's like a social hand grenade. People buy the album for the two songs they've heard on radio. I've heard that song on radio.
Oh, have you heard it on radio?
I heard it on radio. Them Beatles, they're magic, them. I'm going to buy absolute magic. Have you seen the four lads they are? They're four lads with guitars.
Oh, you never.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about Beatles, young man. Anyway, what you do is you buy the record, and then there's two songs you know, and then on the B-side there's something about, well, I'd rather see you dead, little girl.
Hey
than
up,
to be
hang
with
on.
another man.
No, you hang on.
What do you mean?
You hang on.
This is a song it's a Beatles song, nothing wrong with it. The Beatles are saying it, it's fine.
I suppose.
It's the Beatles.
It's not even a complete sentence. So what does he go on to say?
Well,
give me some context. There's probably a good side to this. He probably doesn't mean it. I reckon there's some good in this.
You better keep your head, little girl.
Hang on, you missed the line.
No, I did. I said the.
Then to be with
another man. Yeah. So let's start again.
Okay.
Well, I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than to be with another man.
I find that threatening.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's terribly threatening.
So, and then the next bit.
You better keep your head, little girl, or I won't know where I am.
You better keep your head, little girl.
Or I won't know. He's blaming her for getting lost.
That's gaslighting.
Yes, gaslighting.
That's original.
If he forgot his phone, he hasn't got Google Maps.
Yeah. And he's saying that
her.
So he's basically saying, I'm going to murder you if you're on Tinder, and then I'll decapitate you and get lost.
Yeah.
That's the modern rap.
At least we can clearly see this isn't the girl's fault. You know what I mean? This is clearly a man's issues in his head.
I feel all of a sudden like I'm on the jury.
Well,
I need to, like, in order to convict, I need to find that there is some sort of, shadow of a doubt.
And Mr. Lennon, what did you then say to this young lady? You better run for your life if you can, little girl.
If you can.
Hide your head in the sand.
Well, hang on. If you can. What is she? Is she...
He's probably stole the
has
trainers.
She got polio, or... I mean, what year is this? Is this the 60s?
Well, this is the Beatles, isn't it? Let's say this is 1968.
You better run for your life.
Plucking it out of the thin air. I don't know what year it is.
It is. We're not music historians. 60s. We talk about this.
Yeah. So let's suppose it's the 60s.
Yeah, it's the 60s. So you better run for your life if you can. If you can. What does that even mean? Like,
It can mean a lot of things.
Is she
Has he
tied
got-
up? Is she bound and gagged? Is she hog-tied?
Is she in a wheelchair?
She could be in a wheelchair. Yeah, or the way this is going, it could be anything.
Maybe he doesn't know.
She could be a thalidomide baby.
Oh, I remember those.
Too soon?
Yeah, it's been 50 years.
You know the old theme tune for thalidomide?
No, hold on, I'm bracing myself.
If you've got thalidomide and you know it, clap you. Oh, forget it, don't.
Oh dear.
Anyway, too soon for those jokes.
Absolutely.
So hide your head in the sand, little girl.
Like is that an ostrich?
Is it ostriches? It is ostriches that do it, isn't it?
Do they do that?
I don't know. Is it just a
Or is it a
trope?
myth?
Trope or myth?
If there's any
Ostriches
bird experts-
listening.
if any ostriches, if there's an ostrich listening, can you give us a call?
Yeah.
Get in touch
hang
with the
on.
podcast.
We have a call coming through. Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yes,
Hello?
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 Yes, hello?
Hello?
Who's this?
Bob.
It's Bob. I don't...
Can you get on with the podcast? You've gone off on a tangent. I'm writing a letter of complaint.
Hey, can I do it?
Yes.
Can I do it? So, John and I, before the podcast tonight, we got on ChatGPT and we asked ChatGPT to write us a letter of complaint. And here's a bit of it. So,
Okay.
it was, so dear podcasters, I hope this letter finds you ready for a good laugh. No, that was terrible. Where's the one before it? The one before it. Because we did like 6.
Yeah, we did a few. We were trying to make it get really disparaging.
Dear
of us.
podcasters, this is ChatGPT writing us a complaint letter about how we go off on tangents. All right. So if you're thinking of complaining, ChatGPT's already done it better than you have. Okay.
Yeah. Or you might want to start writing it down now.
Yeah. I'm writing to express my disappointment and concern regarding the podcast, but I won't do that. And its hosts, John and Grant. As a regular listener who is a 60-year-old male, I feel compelled to share my feedback on the show's direction and content. While the initial premise of the podcast, which involves discussing song lyrics and finding humour in them, intrigued me, I found that John and Grant frequently veer off topic and engage in distracting side conversations. These detours often overshadow the primary focus of the show and hinder the enjoyment of meaningful discussions. Well, John, go eat a bag.
And it's amazing how succinct and correct it was.
So what
we do meander. It's
what we'd love you to do, and one of the criticisms. So I've joined all these podcasting groups all over the world, and one of the criticisms was, you try and get people to go to your Facebook page too much. Well, criticizing critic person, you can also eat a bag. What I'd like for you to do though, if you're listening, is go to our Facebook page and copy and paste a ChatGPT generated complaint about our podcast, and we'll put the best one. We'll copy and paste the best one officially on our official page as a 5-star complaint.
fantastic. I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, we are actively fishing for complaints.
Yeah, but they have to be done by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Put your
AI
parameters
you've
in.
got. Yeah, put your parameters in. I don't have any clever search things. But anyway, back to the podcast because we don't want to get too criticised.
We don't want to go off on tangents.
Yes,
We've got to stop the tangents.
It's me. I reckon if we did a tally, it's
Yeah.
me. 100% it's me. Like, I'm always the one that throws us off onto a tangent. Always.
I would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
I know I should go, oh no, it's me.
So if we go back to our first
but
podcast,
that's all right. Yeah.
go back to our 500 mile podcast, which
Yeah.
was like echoey as all crap and
Yeah.
whatever.
Back in the old days.
Back in the old days. That was back before computers.
Well, it was black and white then.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
it sounded so tinny. Everything's black and
It was
white.
recorded on a push bike.
It was.
And that was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
trick.
yeah, yeah.
That's why it sounded so echoey. So anyway, if we go back to that, I'm always trying to get you off on a tangent in that particular episode, but you just won't. You're stuck to your scripts like glue. And I think it was like a 25-minute podcast or something. But anyway, that's what we do here.
That's what we do. We just make it up as we go along.
Yeah, you little
what
beauties.
happens.
Your beauties podcast.
Beauties.
Yeah. So come on. You better keep your head, little girl, or I won't know where I am. What happens after this? I'm intrigued.
Where are we at?
I'm second verse. Better than the first.
You better run for your life if you can, little girl.
More threats.
We went through that. Probably in a wheelchair, poor girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl.
Bloody ostrich women.
Catch you with another man. It's like how
Now it
young
goes
is
on.
this girl?
It's a 2-line threat, this one.
That's the end. Oh yes, catch you with another man. That's the end, little girl.
That's the end, little girl. That's how he sings it. And that's the end.
Ender.
Little girl.
Who's singing in this song?
I think you're right. I think it's John. I don't know. If you know.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I just hadn't thought about it.
Just
before.
says the Beatles. We never look into anything, do we? Really?
We never look into. Well, I don't.
I gave
know
a bit of
Beatles,
trivia
though.
on the Starship podcast.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
We don't do research. We just come out with facts
If
that
there's
we've
stuff we
heard
know.
from
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it may not even be correct. Some of it. It's certainly probably 50% of what I say just isn't true. We all know that.
I got ripped apart for the bloody Spice Girls one.
Did you?
Yeah. My friend Mel Brasendale.
Yeah.
She loves the Spice Girls. She's read their book. Did you even know
Was she? Yes, I know. There's a book.
Did you know there's a book?
Yes.
I didn't even know there was a book.
There's a movie as well.
Shut the front gate.
That was one of the last banned movies, wasn't it? No,
Really?
there was an era of them, and it kind of
And they ruined it for everyone.
they ruined it for everyone. Bloody Spice
Bitches.
Girls, all 4 of them.
Shut up. Do you know how many times we've had this conversation? It actually came up we bought a trivia game the other day, and one of the questions was, how many members of the Spice Girls were there? And Gaynor, my wife, she asked the question to my son Jack and his girlfriend Jenna. And she goes, how many members of the Spice Girls are there? And she looked at me and she went, shut up, you know this one.
Because you're a fan.
Because of our podcast, John.
Absolutely.
Because of our podcast.
Because of our music history podcast.
Because of our podcast called
absolutely.
But I Won't Do That.
Absolutely.
Which we're doing now.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
What?
Yeah, we're doing a podcast.
What are we doing?
Now.
We're doing it now.
Read the thing.
Are we starting? I thought we were rehearsing.
Catch you with another man and that's the end.
Well,
Little girl.
you know that I'm a wicked guy.
I kind of picked that up.
Yeah.
I kind of picked that up.
And I was born, mind you, I was born with a jealous mind.
Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Lennon. It's a boy. It's a boy.
And he's looking at some other mum's boob. He's
He's
jealous.
got, yes, I diagnosed this boy with a jealous mind. It seems he was
probably-
born with it.
It's just like
Keep him away from ostrich women, is my advice.
And I can't spend my whole life,
No.
trying just to make you toe the line. That's a lot of energy just trying to get one person. Why doesn't he just let it go?
I think he possibly could move on. You know, there's not more than one. Is there more? I don't know a lot about the Beatles, but I suspect they had more than one female fan.
I've heard they had a few.
And I'm fairly certain that many of them could have been rather complicit. Complicit? Is that a word? Complicit.
Yeah, complicit.
Now I've said it too many times. It's not making sense. Complicit or complicit?
I think it's complicit.
Complicit.
I think complicit are shoes for centipedes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes
Technically.
sense. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I love how your mind works. Slash.
Doesn't work. How your mind seems like sometimes it's been dropped down the stairs a few times.
Like your microphone.
Yeah, like my microphone.
Oh, poor John's microphone. We won't talk about that. And I can't spend... Well, at least he knows what he can't do.
Yeah. But he's trying to make a...
But he still wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
Come on,
At
John.
least he got a house out of it.
Come on, John. Don't make a song and dance about it. So at least he didn't make the dance.
But he made the song.
I haven't even had a sip yet.
Have a sip of your whiskey, it's good.
Is it?
Where did this wonderful whiskey come from, Mr. Grant Mullen? How did you procure such an excellent beverage?
I made it in my garage.
You made it. Please tell me more about that, Mr. Mullen.
Well, I'll go into my garage and I'll fill up a bucket with sugar and yeast, and a little while later I'll put it in a kettle. It's in the kettle.
A kettle?
I'll put it in a kettle,
Yeah.
and the steam comes out the kettle. I'll catch the steam in another bucket.
That's not
and
magic.
And I'll put that bucket in a jar, and then I'll put that jar, put some flavourings in it, and I'll put that stuff what I just talked about in that barrel over there. And then I'll leave it there for more than 5 minutes, and then I'll serve it to you over a bit of ice.
This podcast is brought to you by Grant Mullen's Whiskey.
The cheapest whiskey on the market.
There you go. That's our first sponsor.
Yeah, we've got-
Mullen's Whiskey. We call it Grant's Whiskey, but there's already another one.
So what do we end up calling it? Mullen's whiskey.
Yeah, it's going to be Mullen's. Mullen's Drop.
Oh, that
Mullen's Golden...
we can't call it
Liquid.
Mullen's Golden Drop.
Yeah,
'Cause
Mullen's Golden
I
Liquid.
just had... Mullen's Golden Liquid. It's so good, you
Mummy.
want to shower in it.
Mummy, it sounds like wee.
This lemonade tastes funny.
Mullen's whiskey. It's good. It's actually it's good.
Look, for $6 a litre, mate, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. Fantastic stuff.
You know how like really good whiskey is barrel aged for 25 years?
Yep.
This is at least 25 minutes.
20. You know what? And it shows.
It's all right.
beautiful. Hey,
all
better
right.
than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I much prefer a 25-minute whiskey to a 5-minute.
It'll cure stuff.
Yeah.
Thirst mostly. So, what else have we got in this song? Because it's repeated itself a few times, but let's go down to this last verse here.
The one where it says, "Let this be a sermon."
Is that really the lyrics?
Yeah.
Let this be a sermon.
Let this be a sermon.
I can't believe, really. Like, I'm really... For the first time, we've done... This is our, like, nearly 20th song, right? I can't believe that these are actual lyrics. I didn't pre-read any of these either.
No, I know. It's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let this be a sermon. I mean everything I've said. Baby, I'm determined.
Sounds it.
And I'd rather see you dead.
John
Lennon. John's got some gripes, hasn't he? Who's this? Is this Yoko?
I don't know. I'm really desperate
I
to
think
look
this
up...
was the last one before Yoko, because I think he kind of liked Yoko. So this must be about the girlfriend
Hang on.
before Yoko.
So, you know how you laughed at me the other week when I said, I freaking hate the whole Holocaust?
Yeah.
You just matched that by saying, I think he kind of liked Yoko. Like,
Yeah.
he was, if you look up madly obsessed to the point of delusionally crazy in whatever you look that up in, maybe Google,
Yeah.
you would see John Lennon and Yoko Ono
Yeah.
lying naked in a bed in public, all dressed in white. That's
Having a protest.
having a protest over
In bed.
over whatever. And the same guy that wrote these murderous lyrics.
Yeah. The lyrics go on and on and on. It's the same thing. But then it does finish in a very beautiful
Denial.
na 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 na.
It's denial at the end. It's the nah. He turns Eshe in the end.
It does.
You know, did you make these threats, Mr. Lennon? Nah, mate, I'm Eshe, mate.
Did you tell her she needs to run for her life? No, mate. Did you say you'd rather see her dead? No. You said you'd rather see her dead, little girl, and I quote Mr. Escher. No, mate.
If you can see, your whole face changes when you do your
I do
Eshe.
voices.
When you do your Eshe.
I think it's when I do anything.
But like when you do your Eshe voice, you go, your face looks 16.
I'm transporting myself. I used to be an Escher.
Did you? You were a professional Eshe, weren't you?
No, purely amateur. It was professional at Rent-A-Gent.
I thought you had a doctorate in Esheism.
No, mate, not me.
Oh.
Not me.
Well, must have been me, Eshe. Give me your shoes.
Probably my brother.
Give me your shoes,
Probably my
cuz.
brother. He was Escher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So, John, that was a most disturbing song. And
Look, there's a little part of me that regrets choosing that one. But you know what? It is what it is. And in this podcast, we don't shy away from the tough jobs. Some people would say fighting a war or maybe jumping out of an aeroplane. Maybe being a policeman is a tough job. Or being a mum. But no, we go through Run for Your Life by the Beatles. We live life on the edge.
I thought you sounded like you're doing the Victoria Bitter beer ad. You can get it mummin', you can get it strummin', you can get it changing the world. Matter of fact, I saw him murder a girl. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. Yes, you probably don't know that advertisement, do you?
I know it vaguely.
And the best cold beer is Vic. Yeah. Vic Bitter. Yeah.
I couldn't quote it. But yeah, what a terrible song. We take it on.
Yeah, we take on the tough ones. So, do we know what we're doing next week? Do we have
Absolutely no idea.
So, you know what I'd
We're
love?
flying by the side of a seat of our pants.
Slide by the side of our pants.
So we're flying by the sight of our pants. Not even the seat. We're flying by the sight. Do you know how difficult that is, Grant? Of course you do. You do it all the time. You fly by the sight of your pants all the time. I've seen you do it. It's a remarkable sight.
We are looking for your top 10 suggestions in our Facebook group. If you haven't already, go and find us on TikTok.
Oh, that's a good idea. Get them to do the work. Is that what you say? Get them to do our homework. Yeah, brilliant. You can do that.
When you put it like that, it doesn't sound... I'm trying
We'd
to...
like, no. Look, Grant's a wonderful
sell the
salesperson
idea.
and he sells it and it's glorious and it's slick. What I'm saying is, hey, can you do our homework for us? Just find us some songs where you chuck them up on the Facebook. A song that you'd like us to hear us go through, because you know what? I can't be bothered.
We did have a suggestion. We did have one suggestion, and somebody said we should do Black Velvet by Alanis who does Black Velvet? Can't remember her name. Shania Twain. Is it Shania Twain? Black Velvet. Anyway, and I went and I read the lyrics, and it's actually quite a lovely, nice song about Elvis.
Oh.
Yeah, and I just couldn't go there with that one. Like it was...
Okay.
You know... It was,
I might just turn up with it in a fortnight.
I don't want to read that one.
No.
I don't want to do that one.
But we'll just see what happens then.
Yeah, if you do have any suggestions, hit us up. You can send us an inbox. You can start. There's a little chat thing on the Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, what are you on? You're not on Facebook, are you, John? Really?
I'm on Facebook from time to time. I'm not a big social media person, and there will be a show bag. I just assure everyone there will be a show bag. We have talked about it. It's just going to get better over time.
Why don't we decide on a date for the show bag together?
Yeah.
And then we can announce that on the Facebook.
We'll make it happen.
Yep, we'll do that.
And I've got one little thing to announce. If anybody's still listening, I do have a YouTube channel called Johnny Makes Stuff.
Is that started?
Which is ready to go. Episode 6 is up, and it's absolute madness. I started it when my arm was broken. The first 6 it is madness. You think this is bonkers? Look at the YouTube channel. Johnny Makes Stuff. Thank you.
That's our most recent sponsor, Johnny Makes Stuff.
Johnny Makes
and
Stuff.
Mullen's Golden Drop. So, all right, thanks, guys. See you next time.
See ya.
В голове моей опилки, да. Но хотят-то мы опилки, но кричалки и вопилки, а также шумелки, пыхтелки и сопелки сочиняю я неплохо иногда. Да. Хорошо живет на свете Винни-Пух, оттого поет он эти песни вслух. И неважно, чем он занят, если он худеть не станет, а ведь он худеть не станет, если, конечно, вовремя подкрепиться. Да. Трам-пара-па-пам-пара-па-пам-пам-па. Пум-пурум-пу-пу-пурум-пу-трам-пам-па. Пум-пурум-пу-пу-пурум-пум. Пум-пу-пум-пурум-пум-пум. Хорошо живет на свете Винни-Пух, оттого поет он эти песни вслух. И неважно, чем он занят, если он толстеть не станет, а ведь он толстеть не станет.